in my opinion.
Swedish
Like,
Lion.
actually, we played these guys within the space of 7 days. We won them 3-1, and then we went to the one that was the most important one, and we
They
could
set
not
you up.
even
They set you up.
get a goal. It doesn't make any sense.
I was certain that Milan would lose that game, Sha.
You were set up.
I was certain.
You were
Well,
set up at the San Siro.
At the end of the day, I just felt we could have done better. Rafael Leao didn't do shit, and I don't know, he didn't do anything in that final. Yeah, that's why I actually paused. He didn't do anything in the final. Coupled with his friend Theo Hernandez, I don't even know what that guy was. I don't know what his aim was.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of the Late Go podcast. My name is Samson. I remain your host. Together with me, I have our wonderful panelists. I have Yinka is here with us. Cass, hope you have healed from Wednesday. We have Mayor.
Never wounded.
Mayor is bursting with momentum. His team has just beaten a useless United.
As always, we have always been busting. I've always been busting with too much energy.
You were busting last week with your Newcastle prediction, though. But we'll get to that.
We lost that on purpose so that we can win tonight.
They've been busting in the place, actually, like the conference.
We have JD. JD is just waiting for the 1st of June when Inter wins the Champions League, to declare for us on this podcast. Anyways, welcome to today's episode again. Before we go deep into the episode,
we're playing for Leeds.
You are playing for?
We're playing for the
JD, I didn't get that. Oh, okay. We shall be there. We shall be there.
No problem.
Anyways, before we move on, I want to say some words of encouragement to Taiwo Awoniyi, the Nottingham Forest striker, who had an horrendous injury in the last EPL match against Leicester. We wish you safe recovery, and we wish you all the best when you come back fit into the team. Okay, it's been a wonderful week. Barcelona has exceeded Yinka's prediction. They secured the La Liga title away at their bitter rivals Espanyol with a two-goal win. Yami Lama with a wonderful solo goal against Espanyol. Madrid could not retain the title. Tonight, we'll also be discussing what went wrong for CAS Milan. Bologna lifted their first title in 51 years. CAS, look at us. No, look at us. 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 We are proud of you regardless. We'll also be discussing the FA Cup final tomorrow between Crystal Palace and Manchester City. We'll also be discussing the top 4 race in England and in Italy. Fortunately, unfortunately, the league has been concluded in France, the league has been concluded in Spain, the league has been concluded in Germany, the league has been concluded in France and in Germany, like I said. That leaves us with Italy, where Inter and Napoli are going neck to neck for the Scudetto title. We'll also be discussing about the Europa League final review. The Europa League final is on the 21st of May. The Battle of the Clowns, Manchester United will be playing against Tottenham Hotspur. Before we go further, Yinka, Barcelona have secured the La Liga title. What are your comments?
Well, good evening, everyone. It's good to be back. And first, I have to congratulate Barcelona for what I would consider a fantastic season. Even though they did not complete it with, or they did not finish the league by winning the Champions League or by, getting the treble, in all ramifications, you still consider this a successful season. And like most of you already know, I did not give them a chance going into this season, especially because I considered that squad really young and quite inexperienced. I thought they didn't have enough depth as well, but they've surprised me. I was just seeing today that they went the whole of second half of season in La Liga without losing a single match, which is quite extraordinary if you ask me. So I can only say congratulations. But it's also a challenge to Real Madrid for next season because with everything that Real Madrid has invested recently, um, with the winning cycle that they've been able to build over the last few years, you would have expected a better challenge. I know they lost it with 3 games or they're about to go, but still, Real Madrid had it in their hands at some point in the season and they just threw it away. And the fact that they could not even beat Barcelona this season in about 4 or 5 meetings, is enough to challenge them to, to do better next year. Hopefully, we get a more competitive. Well, I would say it's been competitive as well, but I hope it's more competitive next season. Hopefully, Atleti are also in the mix, at this stage of season next season, and then we have a very interesting La Liga race.
Yinka, I'm still with you. Is it more of Madrid throwing away the title or Barca being overwhelmingly deserving?
Well, I'm not one to always take credit away from winning teams. If you've won, you've won. You've won because you deserve to win. I mean, the best way of judging a team over a season would be their league season. You cannot really use Champions League, for example. A team can mess up in the Champions League over 38 games and then do well in the few games that they have to play in Champions League, end up with the Champions League, even though that's the holy grail of club football. But to really be able to judge the consistency of a team, you would need to use the team's league run. And based on how Barcelona has done in the league this season, you cannot take anything away from them. They were deserved winners. Real Madrid should have done better, but overall, you just have to say that Barcelona did better than them. And you cannot, just because Barcelona have done better than them, you cannot, because of that, now say that Real Madrid have thrown it away. Barcelona won it fair and square, as far as I'm concerned.
Congratulations to Barcelona once again. Personally, I was leaning towards Atletico Madrid more. Atletico were disappointing this season, in my view. They went out in the cup early. They went out in the Champions League under
Controversial
some
circumstances.
controversial circumstances. Thank you, Yinka. And they just faded off in the league. And Cass, is it time to question Simeone's leadership of that team? In simple terms, is it time for change? Do you think it's time for change at Atletico Madrid?
I believe that what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. If Ateta should leave, I think Simeone should also leave.
Where is this one coming from?
See where young boy. Arsenal must have collect one way or another.
Is this an Ateta? Is this an Ateta?
See
Are
where
you
go
trying to
handball.
Ateta me?
No. Because I feel if after I think almost 7 to 8 years now of if not more of Simeone being with Atletico Madrid,
he's the highest paid coach in the world.
Yeah, and I think he only has just probably one La Liga to show for it, and maybe one other cup. Two. In that period of time, I think it's time because they need like we discussed last week, they need that manager that can take them that one step up that they always want to be. I'm sure if they had finished second, the conversation would have been probably a bit tricky, like different, because we know Madrid has a very good squad, Barcelona has a very good squad, but they are in a distant third and not like a very close, probably 1 point difference. You could see that they didn't really play too well this season. So I think they need someone to take them to that next level that they want to get to. The team has a mentality, they have whatever it is
Someone
that
like
it takes,
Allegri.
but they just need.
Even Mayor was alerted.
It's a tricky question. Is a tricky one actually. It's a tricky one. Allegri also has the pedigree, but then I don't think maybe not Allegri.
But moving from Simeone to Allegri is like just you are moving sideways.
Am I?
Well, in terms of style of play, maybe.
No,
yes.
We've seen just
in terms of style of play, maybe you're moving sideways because they are not too different in terms of their philosophy. I'm sorry for cutting in cast. Personally, I think the Atletico situation is a tricky one because it's always going to be difficult to challenge Real Madrid and Barcelona. It's always going to be a difficult one. At the same time, I believe that Simeone has done well during his time at Atleti. I mean, he's won the league twice. He's won Europa League maybe twice
Europa
or three
League,
times.
twice.
He's
twice.
won. Apart from that, maybe he's
Super
won one or two cups.
UEFA Super Cup.
UEFA Super Cup. So, you would say that he has done well, at least relatively well. Can he do better? Yes, because when he joined, Atleti were almost like what Arsenal was when Arteta joined. He took them.
Use another club as example now.
They were not really buying as much. They were not really strong financially. They were not really doing well in La Liga. But he came in, turned everything around, and turned them into a very competitive club. Now they've reached a stage where I feel like Simeone cannot do more than he has done with the club anymore. I mean, what's there to win again? Maybe Champions League. Champions League would be a very hard ask, if you ask me. I think that I would really have to go way beyond expectation for him to win the Champions League. And I know he's come close twice. I think that those 2 times that he got to the final of the Champions League were the times that he should have won it. But since that train has passed, I do not think that train is coming again. So I would say it's time to part ways. Get someone else, someone with maybe fresh ideas, someone with maybe a different philosophy, and see how things go. Obviously, that does not guarantee success. The board is probably thinking, let's stick with the angel we know instead of going for a devil we do not know. Because, with Simeone, they know what they can get. They know that top 4 is guaranteed. They know that they might go, deep into the Champions League once in a while. But you can bring in a coach with a different philosophy now and then everything crumbles. So that's why I said it's difficult. It's difficult to really place Atleti's situation. For me, I would say it's worth the risk. Just let him go, try something different and see how things go.
Well, I hope we see a better Athletic next season because the truth is they have the squad to challenge Madrid and Barcelona. That squad is loaded, and I remember we discussed the strength of that squad a lot on our episodes in the past. Mayor, Champions League. You people are finally going to Champions League. Are you? You are one leg in Champions League. Are you excited?
We can't be delighted because we made the Champions League. It is normal for us. It is only we will be dissatisfied.
Normal where? When last time you go to Champions League?
We are always. That's why it's the problem now.
When last did you go to Champions League?
It was just last season, and we are still in Europe. We always be in Europe. We will always be in Europe. It is our heritage. It is our heritage.
I know, we know. Okay, just to recap the top 4 situation in England. Newcastle are currently 3rd. Chelsea are 4th. Aston Villa are 5th. Manchester City 6th. Forest are 7th. Chelsea and Aston Villa have played 37 matches. The rest of the chasing pack have 2 games in hand. Chelsea go to Forest on match day 38. If Forest beats West Ham, Forest moves to 65. So, Mayor, on match day 38, you can still not go to Champions League.
But
Of course.
if you win, we will go. But what if we win?
And if you win,
We definitely
I'm
win.
saying that if you don't win,
Let me tell you something. I was telling Mr.
Let me
Ika the other
call.
time that I will give you £100 if we don't go. Then you will give me £10 if we go. Let's do that.
No. If you beat his Conference League now,
No, I'm even talking about. I'm even
No,
talking
this is
about
another
Forest.
one. This is another one. It's a
I'm
fresh
talking
one.
about Forest now. Forest
you are extending it to Champions League.
to the. You were talking about Forest, right?
Yes.
And if we don't win Forest, I owe you £100. If we beat
I
Forest,
can,
give me
How
£10.
can you say? How can you
I
say the
can only
Champions
take I
League?
can only
Playing the
take that
Champions
bet
League,
if
they are struggling to
Forest win
qualify.
this game, this their match this 37 game. If Forest win, I'll take that bet.
No, then what if we win them? What if they lose? You give me £10.
No,
If
I'm
we lose,
saying,
I give
No.
you
Mayor,
£100.
Not a
well,
guarantee.
if
Mayor,
Forest win,
if
it
Chelsea
means
can
that
as well
they'll be
lose.
fired up for that last game. But if they lose, then there's not much for them to fight for against Chelsea. So
There
I
is
would wait
nobody
for
that wakes
to
up in
see
the
what they'll
morning as
do
a
first.
football player,
Who do
get
they play?
dressed, get onto the pitch
Who are
in the front
Forest
of their
playing in
fans,
their
and
37th?
come there to lose. Even if they didn't win, they will still want to win that one because it's the last game
Of
of the
course, but
season anyway.
priorities are different now. If they lose against West Ham, then it means
Yeah,
that they've guaranteed European football, whether it's Conference League or Europa League. But Champions League may be out of reach
Europa
when
League.
it comes to match day 38. So they may not really have that motivation to give their all in that match. But if they win against West Ham, then they know that Champions League is still within reach and they'll give their all for that game. So it's easier to
okay.
bet on them then.
Okay, let me summarize the bet. If Nottingham Forest beats West Ham, there is a bet on Nottingham Forest beating Chelsea on March 38. If Chelsea
yes.
wins on
No,
March
there's
38,
no. There's a bet on Chelsea not making it to the Champions League on March the 38th.
Champions
I
League.
don't know how it's
Let's
going to
do
okay.
happen.
that's another bet. Yes, that's another bet. Let's do this. So many
No.
people will not be
We
There's
are
hearing
just
this
one
forgetting
today.
bet
that
now. Let me explain where I stand.
um,
If Nottingham Forest
another thing is
beats West Ham now, I think that Nottingham Forest can do enough to get a draw against Chelsea on the last game, and Aston
They will
Villa
not
will
still
beat
get it.
Man United, which means that Aston Villa
Now,
will
wow.
go instead of
Everybody
Chelsea.
just keep beating
I
Man
mean,
United up and down.
do we
Come
still
back.
know
Aston
that
Villa and Chelsea,
the
they are on
surprising
66
is
points.
qualifying?
they are both on 60.
It's
No,
top five
I
now,
think
not the
Chelsea
top.
has a couple of points ahead
Superior
of
goal
them.
difference. You
This
have
this
superior
bet we
goal
are talking
difference.
about, is it that if
It's the top
Mayor,
five.
if Chelsea does not make it, Mayor will give everybody here £100 each, so that we
Amen.
can know how many of us
It is,
are
£100 will
getting the
be
£100.
this is how it is. I agree. But if we win, everybody give me £10. Is
We'll
that
give you
fair?
£10. We'll give you
Yes.
£10. Yeah,
Is
we
that
all give
fair?
you
Okay
the
now.
£10.
Let's do this.
Okay
Let's do
now.
this. Please, let everybody put the home address
God,
on this
God
screen.
of God of Forest.
I'll break down
So what is
currency.
that in forest now?
We are looking at you.
I
Okay.
beg go. I need
We
to
are
add
looking
my
up
own
to you.
caveat too. My own bet
Okay.
is dependent on Nottingham
See
beating West Ham.
caveats.
If Nottingham
See
does not
Of
beat
caveats on
course,
West
of
Ham,
course.
I'm
£100.
out.
It is after West Ham. It is after West Ham. It is
I'm
after
out.
West Ham. It's after the West Ham game.
No, okay.
After the West Ham game.
There's no
Yeah,
caveats. Whether
the
they
bet
lose or they
becomes
win.
active whether
Mayor,
after they beat.
after the West Ham game.
If not
Yeah.
But
Forest
me,
West Ham.
I am begging the God of Forest, please beat West Ham and beat Chelsea. £100 is
Is
on the
that not
line.
too much to ask these people? Do you want to kill them? Is it not too much
They
to ask
can
them?
do it. They can
I'm
do it.
asking God now.
They are
I'm
fired up
Mayor.
now. They can
So
do
who do
it.
you think we are serving?
I don't know who you people are serving, but me, I'm telling God. Anyways, last episode we started a special segment, which is the giveaway segment, where we give out a question in each episode. You have to watch the episode, of course, to know the question. You answer the question and you stand a chance of winning a cash prize. started that in the last episode, and I'm pleased to announce to you that the first episode that dropped, we have a winner in the person of at Oluwajoba Marvelous Pelumi won a cash prize of 10,000 naira. The second episode dropped today by 12. We are still collating answers, and hopefully we'll announce the winner again for that episode. So for this episode, I will be dropping the question now, and the question goes thus. In one of the last episodes, in one of the last two episodes, we talked about the Ballon d'Or top three pick for everybody. Can you tell us the top three players that Mayor picked to finish on the Ballon d'Or podium? Can you tell us the top three players that Mayor picked to finish on the Ballon d'Or podium? Finally, on that, if you have for advert placement, you can reach out to us also. But that is the quiz question. Please, your friends and your family cannot participate. Mayor, you too. Thank you.
Obviously, yeah.
Maybe when we win
wife
our
was disturbing me.
£100.
My wife said she wanted to participate. I said you cannot participate.
No, tell madam she cannot participate. Okay. Yinka, are you still keeping your top 5 pick in England?
I don't want to be too inconsistent. Well, I think I'm going to stick with my initial pick, which
is
I'm going to tweak it a bit. Initially, I said Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Nottingham, and what's the last team now? Newcastle. Yes, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Nottingham, and Newcastle. But given the way that Nottingham has messed up, and given the fact that Aston Villa is still there, I saw Chelsea's game against Man United tonight, and to be very honest, I was not particularly convinced. It was just like secondary school boys just running all over the pitch, as if they didn't have anything.
United were not interested in the match.
In fact, United dominated them for the first 20 minutes before Chelsea woke up. Now, Chelsea woke up and then they could hardly create quality chances. It took a moment of brilliance from Reece James for them to be able to get that goal that they eventually got. So I'm still not convinced.
We're just mid. Nonsense.
You were mid against Newcastle as well. But
because it was because of the time the goal came in, and we are told we got yellow card again.
You sound like Arsenal fans.
No, we don't. We don't. Arsenal fans are
Mayor, if this £100 drop,
what it means?
We're gonna cook you.
I can tell you for a fact that it will never drop.
We're gonna cook you.
£10 and we suffer it.
You can continue.
So, like I said, I'm still not convinced about Chelsea. I didn't have Chelsea to qualify until a couple of weeks ago, but then they've shown me the reason that I did not pick them in the first place. So I'm starting to think that Aston Villa might make it. I think that Nottingham, if they win against West Ham this weekend, I think that Nottingham at home can be a difficult game for almost any team in the Premier League, and they have what it takes to get a draw against Chelsea. If you get a draw against Chelsea, I think that everybody beats Man United. I'm not sure what mood Man United would be by the weekend, because if you look at it now, if Man United end up winning the Europa League, it means that they're already in party mode, which means that 38th game is a foregone conclusion. If Man United lose the Europa League final, it means that they do not have anything to play for at the end of the season, which means that match day 38 is also a foregone conclusion. So I would most likely put a bet on Aston Villa to win that game. 3 points for Aston Villa. Chelsea might lose points at Nottingham, which means that we would have Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Newcastle, and Villa.
JD, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you have a contrary opinion to Yinka?
Yeah, somehow. I still think Chelsea will find their way in the top 5. I think it still will be Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle, and then Chelsea. I do not see Nottingham Forest or Aston Villa displacing any of these teams. Chelsea, they are in the mood. You can see in their last few games, they've been coming alive.
I'm struggling to see the mood. Where's that mood coming from?
Which mood? I don't understand. Which mood?
Mood that when they
grinding
saw
out results.
Tonali and Bruno
They
Gimares,
grinding
they
out
were
results when
just
it
timid. They
matters
didn't know
most.
what they
So,
needed
You
to
people
do,
will
what they
just be
wanted to do.
hating for nothing.
so the thing is, whether I like it or not, Chelsea know what to do at the
JD,
right
which
time.
results are they grinding out? If you
You
beat
just hate for
United this
nothing.
season, it's
You
not
just
a
hate for
grinding
no
out.
He
reason.
said what?
You don't get tired of it.
1-0. 1-0 against United.
1-0.
And they had to do
If you beat
Against
United this season,
what would
it's
you
not
consider one
grinding
of the
out.
worst United teams of all time?
I'm telling you.
We know, right? But Chelsea have not
Anyways,
been playing greatly
Cass,
this season too. But then they know what to do at the right time. So the thing is, Chelsea will definitely finish in the top 5. I am putting my bet
That
on
one is a
them. I
must.
see them finishing in
That
the
one
top
is a
5.
must.
Okay, he
I
just
think it will
mentioned
be too
bet.
much for
He
Nottingham
just
Forest
mentioned
to
bet.
take.
How much does he want to give us?
I don't see them
It looks like he
displacing
has
Chelsea
disappeared.
actually.
he has left. He has left.
Who?
Cass, are you
If it
changing your
happens,
top
fine.
5?
But my bet is on Chelsea
I'm
actually.
not changing my top 5. I stand by whatever I said. If he doesn't come, he doesn't come.
So I'm not going to change
I'm
much
not dropping
from
£100.
my previous prediction. So it's still
I'm
going to
not.
remain.
I want to remain
Those
as.
top
I
5
want it to remain as it
eventually
is.
pick the slots.
You
I
want it
want
to
it to
remain
remain.
as it is.
I wish
Nottingham
If
Forest
Forest
have
would make
actually
it
looked
If
better.
at.
Lucas lose
But
tomorrow
See them
against
coming
Arsenal,
back.
then the whole narrative will change.
But
That's
then,
Where's Newcastle playing? Where's Newcastle
They are
Newcastle,
playing?
playing Arsenal at home.
they are playing Arsenal away.
Yes.
No. They are going
at
to
the
the
Emirates.
Emirates.
No, that's what I'm saying. They are playing Arsenal at home.
So
So if they lose tomorrow, it
Arsenal has
will take
nothing
the
to
whole thing
play
on the
for.
head.
It,
I think
it doesn't
we
really
keep
it doesn't
forgetting
really
that.
change much for Newcastle. Newcastle are in a decent position. They are currently third.
No,
So even if they lose tomorrow, the worst position that they can finish in at the moment, even if
It's
they lose,
fifth.
would be fourth at the end of this match
no,
day.
now.
This match day.
City still has a game in
But
hand.
Yes, now
City is
that's what
playing
I'm saying.
Bournemouth.
Even if City win, City goes up to 68 points. Newcastle remain on 66. And they have a better goal difference to Chelsea. Chelsea drops to 5th. Aston Villa drops to 6th. So Newcastle remains 4th. Newcastle just knows that they need to win in their last game. And I think, I'm not sure who they are playing. Who are they playing in their last game? So they just need to win on match day
Newcastle,
30. So Newcastle need
Everton.
one win from their last 2 to qualify.
Newcastle are playing Everton at home.
And if they're
On
able to
match
get
day
a draw at the
38.
Emirates tomorrow, or when are they playing, then I think they'll do enough to qualify on the final day.
Well, from the way the table is, even Arsenal might end up finishing 4th if they are not careful.
Well,
That
it's
will
true.
make
They
up for a
just one loss
nice.
against Newcastle like this, and Arsenal is back in the
I'm
league.
telling you, that will
But
make
I
a
think it's too late
nice
anyway.
episode. That will make a nice Let's Go podcast episode. We'll dedicate that episode to Arsenal, but hopefully it does not happen. Anyways, moving on. It was a funny week across Europe. AC Milan danced naked into the market in the Coppa Italia final. They crowned an abysmal season with yet another disappointing performance. And for many of we Milan fans, we wanted to bulldoze our way into winning 2 trophies. But then the truth is that we were poor. We were beyond poor on Wednesday. Also during this week, we've mentioned the Barcelona League title. In Holland, there was a drama that unfolded in the league title race. Ajax were in the driving seat, and they lost a 2-goal lead against Groningen The match ended 2-2. PSV won their match, and now PSV are in the driving seat with a point ahead of Ajax with just a game to go. But then sticking to Milan and their Coppa Italia woes, Cas, what were your just give us your thoughts about the final and what next for Milan?
Well, I already made my stand. I made it known a couple of episodes ago when I said there need to be a general overhaul of the management team. Some players need to go. We need to move on from Rafael Leao. We played this in Bologna a couple of days back.
Chelsea is buying
and
Rafael Leao.
they should come
so
for
that
they
you
should
know.
come
I
they should
said
co-
it
they
here
should come
first.
for him. They should come for him. If I would give them a discount, they should come for him.
Mayor,
Um,
Leao to Chelsea.
It's a very good buy. It's a very good buy.
On discount.
Fantastic buy.
Very
you
good
should
buy.
go.
Cas,
We will
How to
help
say
We
your
them
have
best
to
buy.
player
move past.
at a discounted price?
Who
Is that what you
who
want
is
to
your
do?
best player? Who is your best player?
Rafael Leao, the golden boy,
I don't understand.
the rap star of Milan.
When his mates when
JD,
his
please
mates are in
sit
the
this one
Champions League
out.
final.
Sit
He's
this
the
one
rap
out.
star of Milan. The
JD,
best.
sit
Thank
this
God
one
you said
out.
the Rasta.
Cas, continue, please.
So there should be a general overhaul of the management team. Cardinal need to find something to do. Is it not Cardinal they call themselves? Or what do they call
Cardinale.
themselves now? Cardinali. Okay, whatever it is they want to call themselves.
Cardinale.
They should
Or
do a
Mwale.
general. I think Maldini should come back. I still feel there was a prospect. In my opinion, there was a prospect in how we were setting up, we were approaching the players, the kind of players we were approaching, the way it could talk them into agreeing to come into a project that is quote unquote still a mirage, which is not yet fully blown. And then I don't know what it goes into the dressing room to also like have a chat with them as well when they come on the field of play. We're playing with the likes of Calabria back then, and those guys were like giving premium. Like they took us to the semi-final of Champions League for crying out loud with those kind of players. So I think there should be a general overall. Some players need to leave. We just need to go back to the drawing board and start over again because it seems Bantaya is back if we are not careful. And we need to do something now. Like now is the best time. Ibrahimovic needs to leave. I don't know what he's doing. He just knows how to shake players. That is the only thing he does now. And I think some players are even tired of shaking his hands now. So, in my opinion,
Swedish Lion.
We played these guys within the space of 7 days. We won them 3-1, and then we went to the one that was the most important one, and we could not even get a goal. It doesn't make any sense.
I was certain that Milan would lose that game, Sha.
You were set up.
I was certain.
You were set up at San Siro.
At the end of the day, I just felt we could have done better. Rafael Leao didn't do shit. And I don't know. He didn't do anything in that final. Yeah, that's why I actually paused. He didn't do anything in the final. Coupled with his friend, Theo Hernandez. I don't even know what that guy was. I don't know what his aim was in that game.
Let me bring in Yinka. Yinka as a neutral. I know you are not neutral on Milan's matter. What next? What direction do you see Milan taking? Because if confusion was a club, it is Milan currently.
Well, I would say I agree to a large extent with Cass when he mentioned that they need a complete overhaul in management. Not so much with the squad, because I think that they have some good players. They just need to plug a few holes in that squad. But management level is where I think that Milan's real problems are. And I also agree with him on the point that he made about Maldini. I think that for every big club, especially in Serie A is so, for lack of a better word, special in the sense that you always need someone that knows what the club is about in every big club. If you look at when Juventus dominated Serie A for several years, they had Pavel Nedved in the squad. They have that Pavel Nedved in management rather. I think they had
management, yeah.
a couple of other players in management. If you look at the brief period that Milan did well, especially when they won the Scudetto 3 years ago, they had Paolo Maldini in management as well. So I feel like it's not a coincidence that you have people like this in management. We have Javier Zanetti in Inter's management as well. Um, Personally, I do not consider Ibrahimovic that guy. I think that it's too much about himself to consider or to it's too much self involved that he does not really care what happens to the collective. So because of that, I think that Ibrahimovic has to go. Also because the role that he has in the club is a role that I find very confusing. Something advisor to red bed or
PA.
whatever. Are you working with the club? Are you working with ownership? Nobody really knows. So you are just floating here and there. So give him if you want him to work with the club, give him a specific role in the club. Let him do what he needs to do, even though I still consider him, inexperienced for that type of role. Personally, I would say bring Boban back, bring Maldini back. He understood what it meant to play for Milan, and they worked with very stringent financial conditions, and they were still able to bring Milan to, a Scudetto win. So bring them back, um, see what they can do over the next 1 or 2 years, and then go forward from there. On the field, I think that Milan has decent players that you can at least build on if they do not sell them. I've heard that Man City might be interested in Tijani Reinders, but if they keep Tijani Reinders, keep players like Fofana, keep players like maybe Pulisic, um, there are certain blocks in that team that you can build around. You would still need to add players, but there are certain, blocks that you can build around and then hopefully achieve something. What I want this to happen, however, is a completely different story. I hope that you guys do not get it right. And I hope that we can get something to always laugh about at the end of the season.
You see when
I love the
when I told you
conclusion.
that Yinka is not
I
completely
love the
neutral. But
conclusion.
then you've
The
you've
heart,
That's
the
you've
heart of the
perfect
man
mentioned
is
conclusion.
desperately wicked.
No, no, I
no
mean,
no 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 matter
you guys just don't know
no
it yet.
matter
You
how
guys are in
wicked
Banter era. I said it before
no
it now. I said very early in the season that Milan are in Banter era. They just do not know it yet. I mean, the last time when you guys were in Banter era, you won the Super Cup as well now. So winning the Super Cup now might
Banter
give you the impression that everything
illusion.
the illusion that things might be better, but things
I
might be
so
good.
agree with
But
us
it's
now.
not it's not really that way. I think that Milan are actually in Banter era. But maybe because they won the Scudetto 3 years ago, it's not allowing the fans to really see it. If they get next season wrong, they would not be qualifying for the Champions League. So hopefully they are able to, come back to terms with reality and say that, okay, this is what we are facing. Let's try to, solve this. But if they get next season wrong again and they fail to make the Champions League, I think it's full-blown banter era. There's nothing you can ever tell me about that.
They will soon come to
Wow.
realization.
Milan. No matter the hate that Yinka has for Milan, I'm sure he will prefer Milan in Champions League than a Lazio or a Roma
Obviously.
or
As long as Milan do
even an
not win the
Atalanta.
Champions League, we want our best teams there. Let them go get to the quarterfinal or
we are okay with our
semi-final.
7.
Let
We are
them get
okay
to the
with
We
them
are
just
okay
semi-final
with
and
getting
our
then get
first.
7.
knocked out. As long as Inter wins.
You people should catch up. We are okay with
They should
ourselves. Don't
aspire
worry.
to
We
they
are
should
okay
aspire
May
if
to
they are just
aspire to
participating as long as you don't win.
they should aspire to 7. Mayor, there's FA Cup final tomorrow. Crystal Palace against Manchester City.
Completely
Uh,
forgot about that match.
do you see an upset in that match?
No,
So it's a straight jacket City win.
maybe 2-1. No, City will win it.
City will win it.
Not even now that
But
Rodri is back.
okay. Moving on from what Mayor said, something just came to my mind now, and it is the fact that This season has been is weird the right word to use, or a disappointing season for the supposedly big sides. Look at England. Liverpool came from nowhere, secured the title. Look at Spain. Madrid looked like they had the firepower to do a back to back. Then Barcelona came from nowhere. Italy, Napoli are gunning to win the title.
Boni,
Yinka, would you
I
consider
trust
it
my Boni this weekend.
gunning?
I trust Boni this weekend.
We are not. Me and you are not. You are not on the same page for that one, Sha. May
Anyways, for
31st,
that
we
game,
will meet.
I'm almost certain
Where
that
would you
Parma
rather
would do
win?
something. My biggest problem is will
Don't
Inter win
jinx it.
against
Don't
Lazio?
jinx it.
I
Don't
just
jinx it.
have a problem
Don't jinx it.
with Inter versus Lazio.
Don't
I'm having a
jinx it.
bad feeling
Oh.
about that game. I'm not jinxing
But
anything.
you are at home to Lazio.
Don't
You
jinx
are
it.
at home to
Oh.
Lazio.
Yeah, no. My biggest problem is that we've beaten them twice this season. They would not want us to beat them the third
Okay.
time. So it's going to be
And
very
You have to
difficult.
beat them. Milan beat us
they
3
also
times
need
this
a
season.
win
And they
to still
also
have
need
a
to win that
shot
game
in
to keep
the
their Champions
Champions
League
League
hopes
spot.
alive.
Yeah.
Aha. It's going to be a very tough game. But I think that Parma will definitely get a result against Napoli. I hope I'm not wrong.
Don't jinx it.
Mayor, as a neutral, who do you want to win the Serie A title?
I want Napoli to win.
Why?
Then Chelsea will not qualify for the Champions League.
We can't be better.
It's as simple as that.
We
I'm
can't be better.
loving
They've been too
It's
consistent.
as simple as that.
aura for
Why
aura.
does
Ban for
Napoli
ban.
win actually?
Ban
Why
for
does
Aura
ban.
Napoli
for
win?
aura.
Because they've been too
Chelsea will
consistent.
not qualify for the champion. If Inter does not win the
That's
Scudetto,
just it.
Chelsea will not
I
qualify for
would
the champion,
I
and they
would
will not
rather
win the
not
Conference
qualify
League too.
for I would rather not qualify for Europe so that Napoli can win. The hate is that
And
much.
you not win the
Yeah.
Conference League as well.
We will not. I will not qualify for Champions
Is
League
it that bad?
I
just
know
for Napoli
wala
to
now.
win.
I know wala.
That is the level of hate.
No wala. At least
Gas.
we shall won the league last
You
season.
go
Aura.
When
fear
was the last time
it.
Chelsea won the league?
I said it's aura for aura.
When was the
Ban for
last time
ban.
Chelsea even won anything?
Have you seen a situation where you have pure water with you like this, and somebody beside you is just they need an extinguisher, fire is all over the person. Instead of you to pour water on the person, go and pour it in Milan Bridge. That kind of wickedness. That kind of
But no
wickedness.
wala now. No wala. We'll be here. We'll be here next week. God will keep us
Yes.
till next week and
Yeah.
beyond next week.
Yeah.
The top four race in Italy is quite interesting also. We have Juventus in fourth position, 64 points. Lazio, fifth position, 64 points. Roma, sixth position, 63 points. Bologna, seventh position, 62 points. And Milan in eighth on 60 points. Bologna have secured Europa League spots regardless of what happens in the next 2 match days. But then Juventus, Lazio, and Roma still have everything to play for. Personally, I feel I'm scared for Juventus against Udinese. I don't know how. I don't know why. But it's one of those matches that they can start the match, play it for the next 3 days, and nobody will score. It's that's just my personal opinion. That's just
Well, it's
and
actually
Juventus
possible if you
Juventus
think
have
about it.
Juventus have not been convincing. Juventus have not been convincing, and so I don't know. I'm scared for Juve than Lazio and Roma. Roma
And they
plays
actually have the
Milan.
easiest fixtures among all of those teams.
Yeah, they have easiest fixtures. Roma plays Milan at the Olimpico. Lazio plays Inter at the San Siro, and Juventus hosts Udinese. Yinka, are you still sticking to Juventus to go to Champions League?
Well, their last two games are relatively easy. No game is easy in Serie A, obviously, but when you compare the stature of the
Venezia,
club,
are Venezia not in relegation battle?
yes, they are still fighting for their lives. Venezia are still fighting for their lives, just like Parma. So, but they have Udinese. Udinese basically have nothing to play for this season. So you would expect Juventus to win. If they do not win, they can only blame themselves. Roma has Milan, Lazio has Inter, Bologna has another tough team, if I'm not mistaken,
Fiorentina.
Fiorentina. So those are very tough sides to face. So I still tip Juventus to make it to the, obviously not with my full heart, but based on logic, I would expect Juventus to go through.
JD, contrary opinion.
Not at all. I think Juventus will find their way. I see them beating Udinese this weekend, and I don't think Bologna will be able to overcome Fiorentina. Not
Bologna will
because
be in party mode. I'm not even sure
yeah,
they would.
they are in a party
They will
mood.
be
Will they be
serious with
playing
the
at
next.
home?
They know
Are they
that
playing at home
They
or
whatever
will be
away?
at
happens in
home.
that game, they will still end
They
up
might
playing
beat
in
they might
Europe
beat
next season.
Fiorentina.
They might, but it's not a given. So they know that whatever happens in that game, they will still end up playing in Europe next season. So I think somehow Juventus will still finish ahead of the other part. So I'm still going with Juventus to complete the top four in it. I don't see any other team
Cast.
happening.
That's with us. Oh, okay.
No,
Well, it all lies in the hands of Bologna. It's their choice. So if they want to be in party, I'm not interested because what they did to at least I just wanted Milan to get back to through
Would
the
you rather
window
Bologna or
into Europe.
Juventus?
I
what
would
did
rather
they
have
do?
Juventus.
Cast
Why
no they
Bologna?
do.
What's Bologna going to do?
What did they do?
Bologna is not
What
going
did they
there.
do? Cast no they
What did
do. No they
Juventus do
do
last
us.
time they were in the Champions League? What did they do?
But I would rather have Juventus than Bologna. What did
What
Bologna
did
do?
Juventus do
Bologna
the last
didn't
time they
even.
were in the
I think
Champions League?
Bologna won only their last match. If my memory serves me right, they
Well,
They,
lost.
the
they
the
beat
thing with
Dortmund.
They
Juventus
played
is that at
way
least they have the
tougher
club
games.
stature. Juventus have the club stature. They can still dip into financial resources to strengthen their club in the summer if they make it to the
To do
Champions League.
better, yeah.
Although I think that they will be facing some restrictions from UEFA. They might not be able to register more than 20. I think they will enter into a settlement agreement, but that's a different story. If they do enter into a settlement agreement, it weakens them a little, but not so much that they would not do better than Bologna in the Champions League.
Well, for now, the slot is Juventus to lose. If they
Their
if they
destiny
do,
is in their
the
hands.
other there will be other teams to pick it up. Finally, on this episode, I want us to talk about the Europa League final coming up on the 21st of May. Battle of the Clowns. I think 16th versus 17th in the EPL. Yinka,
Yeah,
who are you tipping to come out on top in that match?
I mean, you've rightly labeled it Battle of the Clowns. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Like I said, I saw United against Chelsea this evening, and I was like,
I
what
wish
is
they
this
can
thing?
both lose.
I
Tottenham
mean,
and United. I wish they can
so
both
much has
lose.
been said about Arsenal's lack of a striker or Arsenal's need for a striker, that nobody mentions United's actual need. I saw Rasmus, what was his name? Rasmus Højlund,
Hoyland.
what's that his
That guy
first name
was
again?
fighting. That Rasmus Hoyland.
It felt like, that, you know how we know how to play football, but we are not quite professional because obviously there's a different level. You might know how to play football, you play with your mates and all of that, but when it gets to professional level, it's a different ball game. When I saw Oilon today, it felt like it was us playing in the midst of
Of professionals.
the midst of professional footballers, and
My
they were
God.
just bullying
Somebody
him.
s-
That was brutal.
somebody said you should stop pulling Corwin's shirt and wait for full time to collect the shirt from Lewy
They were just
Corwin.
bullying the guy, and he did something very stupid as well. During the game, I think they went in at halftime. He came out with a jewelry during the halftime team talk.
Ah,
So he came out with a jury for the second half. The second half had started before the official noticed it, and then they told him to take it off. They had to spend a few seconds on the touchline before he was then allowed to come in again. I was like, how's a professional player behaving like this? Professional footballer. Come on. So, personally, for that game, Tottenham, I'm not quite sure who is going to win. I think it's going to be a
Honestly,
battle of two clowns. Um, at the end of the day, maybe club stature will play a part or play a role, and Man United might take it, or Tottenham will end up being Tottenham because, like Chiellini said at the time in the past, it's in the history of the Tottenham. So they do not know how to win. They do not know how to win. So let's see if they are going to, maybe they are going to change their history this time and win. But that game is difficult for me to predict. Both of them are terrible. I beg. Both of them. I wish there was a different Europa League final. Both of them are too bad. Beg.
Mayor, based on your 8th level, who are you tipping for this one?
I have so much hate for both of them, such that I don't even know where I belong. But because of the level of hate I have for Man U, I want Tottenham to just win.
But Tottenham is more of a rival for Chelsea.
Yes, that's why I
London.
said I'm lost. But I still don't want Man United to win anything. So it will be fair enough for Tottenham to just win one in 100 years. So Tottenham it is. I don't want Man U to win anything. They should. In fact, do you know that they are lucky? They are just like 3 or 4 points away from relegation. I wish they can
Oh, wow.
extend the game to like maybe 42 so that they will still lose more and go and never come back again.
No, you can't imagine Tottenham winning an European trophy before Arsenal.
It is the
I
best
mean,
feeling.
I think it was Kaz that mentioned it last week
Can we not
when we
talk about
said
Arsenal,
we
please?
would have a better season if Tottenham ends up winning the Europa League and Arsenal do not. And I think Mayor was of the opinion that Arsenal would still have the better season. But at the end of the day,
No,
we
no, no.
play
It
for
wasn't Mayor.
trophies.
It wasn't
It
Mayor.
definitely not be.
It was Tayo, I think.
It's
At
time.
the end of the day, we
It
play for
definitely not
trophies.
be.
If Tottenham win the Europa League, you honestly believe that Arsenal fans would not wish to be in their shoes, even if it's just for that particular
Honestly,
moment, just to win
man,
something.
is
So
if Tottenham should win Europa League, they should remove Ateta from the club WhatsApp group immediately.
if,
JD,
if Tottenham
It
should
should
win
remove
Europa
himself.
League, they should allow Arsenal start with -15 in the league next season.
I'm
That should be
telling
their
you,
punishment.
JD,
And the most annoying part is,
Spurs
even if it's
United.
just minus 15 from them, they will still top Man United.
Ah,
Ah.
So it
Hey,
still makes no
Mayor
sense.
is firing on all
Oh,
cylinders this night.
Mayor is on fire. Mayor is on
Spurs
fire.
United. JD,
She
Spurs United. Quickly, who are you tipping?
as you have rightly termed it, battle of two clowns. I'm not expecting any tactical, technical brilliance from the game. I'm not expecting
Ah.
the unexpected. But I
So they
think
should play without coaches.
I think in the end, club pedigree will play a part,
I think
and
you
I
people
think
came
Man United might just
aggressive
take
this
it.
night.
Maybe pedigree will win it for Manchester United. I don't see Spurs
Manchester United.
bringing a surprise because the game
So
is,
JD, Manchester United, Yinka,
yeah,
Manchester United,
I
Mayor,
think so.
Tottenham. Cass, Spurs or
um,
United?
I would want Tottenham to win.
2-2.
However, I think United might win. I would want
Choose one now.
He's the
my wish is that Tottenham wins.
resident Arsenal hater now, so he has to support Tottenham.
Stop being
But he
technical.
knows that Man U will win.
Just say what you want. Who do you want to win? Man
Well, I
United or
already,
Spurs?
You want to win?
no, I already said. I said I would want us Tottenham to win, but
But you see,
We'll stop it there. We'll take that one like that. So 2-2, 2 United to win, 2 Spurs to win. Thank you for your time. It's been an interesting episode. Stay tuned. We'll catch you on the next episode soon, where we'll be discussing wider range of topics across Europe in specifics. Thank you.